Does the government work for us, or do we work for the government? What does it mean today to be a Republican? Tonight, just as the battle lines were being drawn in a civil war within the grand old party between old line establishment Republicans and libertarians, along came Newt. I was surprised and disappointed to hear Newt Gingrich last week criticize the Republicans in the House of Representatives for even considering changes to Medicare. He called it a right-wing social engineering, and he likened it to President Obama's left-wing social engineering, which would have made the federal government, that would be you, America, the sole payer for all health care in the country. Then the former Speaker of the House went on to restate a view he has apparently held for some time, that the government does possess the constitutional authority to compel everyone to purchase health care coverage. This is the same Newt Gingrich who is now seeking the Republican nomination for president. The same Newt Gingrich who authored the famous Contract with America in 1994. The same Newt Gingrich who frustrated Bill Clinton's left-wing urges when Clinton was in the White House and Gingrich ran the House of Representatives. I have long been fascinated with Newt Gingrich. He has a PhD in history. He has a great understanding of the great movements throughout history. And he is usually the smartest person in the room. By that I mean he is good at anticipating the arguments from his opponents and often possesses all the facts and always displays all the cunning with which to win the debate. But what he said last week is crazy. To equate freedom with authoritarianism is wrong. When the government takes money from you against your will and gives it to someone else, when the Constitution does not permit the government to do that, but it does so anyway, that is authoritarianism. The House Republicans, whom Freedom Watch has criticized for not cutting enough from the president's budget and for even thinking of forcing young folks to pay for grandma's health care, at least recognized that the LBJ-era relics of Medicaid and Medicare will bring us all to bankruptcy or socialism if we don't fix them right away or gradually get rid of them. Now, of course, I respect the right of Newt Gingrich and everybody to call these things as he sees them. But he cannot simply equate with intellectual honesty restraining the government with letting the government go bankrupt. They are not equal ideas. One is a path to freedom. The other is a path to socialism. Equally as baffling was the former speaker's comments endorsing the heart and soul of Obamacare. Not only has he not run from this, he actually produced a 20-year-old tape showing him as a young congressman arguing in favor of government-mandated universal health care. Does he realize what he's saying? If the federal government has the power to compel us to buy whatever it commands us to buy, no matter how noble is its purpose, then we don't have a limited government. Then the Constitution is not the supreme law of the land. Then our natural rights are not inalienable gifts from God, as Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, and we better look somewhere else to preserve our freedoms. Come on, Newt. Do you really think this will resonate with Republican voters who have discovered to their utter dismay that President Obama and the congressional Democrats have been far worse for freedom and prosperity than our worst fears led us to believe? This is why we have primary elections. They flush out the views of those who would be president. They also remind us that we can lose our freedom in a heartbeat. Who'd have thought that this old conservative warhorse doesn't believe in the freedoms with which we were born? Now, lest you think Freedom Watch is being harsh on its friend Newt, consider this. Medicare and the Obamacare he loves so dearly, if permitted to flourish in their present forms, will cost us tens of trillions of dollars that we don't have, and will continue to encourage the Congress, just as it did with Medicare and Obamacare, to write any law, regulate any behavior, and tax any event that it so desires. His view of the government is that law is not restrained by our hearts or our reason, but that might makes right. Seems to me we rejected that idea in America since 1776. Tomorrow on Freedom.